Good morning, y'all. Happy Thursday. So today we are going to be looking at forms of energy. The different forms of energy that we are going to be looking at is going to be mechanical energy, thermal energy, chemical energy, electrical energy, electromagnetic energy, and nuclear energy. The first one that we are going to be starting off with is going to be mechanical energy. A lot of people look at mechanical energy and the first thing they think is machines. Well, that is not the case at all. When we are looking at mechanical energy, we are going to be looking at the energy associated with the motion or position of an object. So this is going to be the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy. Bouncing balls, speeding trains, sprinters all have some type of mechanical energy. So we're going to be looking at the everyday objects, motions, and positions when we look at mechanical energy. The next energy that we're going to talk about is thermal energy. So we know that all matter is made up of atoms, and these particles are in constant motion. So we are going to look at the total potential energy and the kinetic energy of these particles. As the particles move quicker, they're going to form more thermal energy and they're going to warm up an object. So we can see in our picture to the right that this is a picture of melted metal, and we can see that it is very hot because it is warming up because our particles are moving quicker and it's getting more thermal energy, and we can see it warming up by the reflection of the light that it is giving off. All right, so the next form of energy that we're going to talk about is chemical energy. The energy stored in chemical bonds. When a chemical change takes place, chemical energy is going to be released. So the example of this is burning wood. If you look at your book on page 451, it says that the source of energy for the fire is the energy stored within the wood. When the wood is burned, energy is released and heats the marshmallow as well as around the campfire. So the energy stored within the wood is going to be chemical energy. And when those bonds are broken, they are going to release energy that can do work. So all chemical compounds, such as like fuel, coal, gasoline, all have stored chemical energy as well. But this chemical energy can be turned into mechanical energy to do work. So we think about fuel. As the chemical bonds are broken, energy is released and it turns into mechanical energy and it moves your car. So that is going to be what we talk about with chemical energy. Our next form of energy is going to be electrical energy. We use electrical energy in our everyday objects because we use electricity. So energy is going to be associated with the electrical charges. And electrical charges can exert forces to do work. So batteries can convert chemical energy into electrical energy to operate our electronics. So for examples, our batteries in our remote, our calculators, our flashlights. Even though that it can be manufactured, it can also come naturally. And an example of this would be lightning. Lightning is an example. Our next form of energy is going to be electrical energy. So this is a form of energy that travels through space in forms of waves. The sun radiates electromagnetic energy into space in a form of waves, and this is where we get most of our world's energy supply. Visible light and X-rays are going to be examples of electromagnetic energy. We talked about how this form of energy travels in waves. Well, since it can travel long distances in in waves through space, we are going to use this for communication. I have a picture of the galaxy to the right because out of the book it talks about that galaxies are a giant structure in space that typically contain billions of stars. These stars are giving off enormous amounts of electromagnetic energy. And how we know that is because we can see the visible light from the stars. So guys, the last form of energy that we are going to look at is nuclear energy. And this is the energy stored in atomic nuclei. If we think about it, a couple of chapters ago, we were talking about how the nucleus is held together by strong and weak forces. Well, as those forces are working together to hold the nucleus together, they are building an enormous amount of potential energy. And we use this energy in a different couple of ways. So 2 examples that they give out of the book is nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Well, nuclear fusion, what happens is that it is a process that releases energy by splitting nuclei apart. And this is how power plants are going to be able to produce electricity. The second type of nuclear reaction is nuclear fusion, and it releases energy when less massive nuclei combine to form more massive nucleus. An example is the heat and light of the sun are produced by the fusion of a hydrogen nuclei into a helium nuclei. Well guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope your learning is going just as great as it would within the classroom. Please email me if you have any questions. I truly miss you guys, and I hope you are all staying safe and enjoy this time with your family. See you guys.